The Locky Trinity let us down last week as JJ Aldrich and Piotr Jan both ended up fumbling the bag. Aldrich, I can't blame too much considering that Lipsky looked like she was on a completely other level. But Jan, holy crap, did he have to go up with a lot against Merab Dvalishvili. But don't worry, I got you guys covered with another Locky Trinity for UFC 286. Just a quick reminder that on the Patreon, I also have breakdowns for Cage Warriors 150 and PFL Challenger Series Week 8, the final week of the Challenger Series before they start their regular season. I believe it's April 1st, but both of those breakdowns can be seen on the Patreon, link in the description below. Without further ado, let's get right into the Locky Trinity. First leg up, we're going to go with Jake Hadley over Malcolm Gordon. I believe that this is a great spot for Hadley to go out there and showcase why he was so highly touted coming into the UFC. Now, Malcolm Gordon had not a close fight with Mohamed Mokaev, but I believe that a lot of people are giving Gordon a little bit more respect considering that he made it 14 and a half minutes without getting finished until he ultimately got finished via armbar. I believe Hadley's jiu-jitsu is more than good enough to deal with whatever Gordon's going to be throwing at him, but I think the big advantage here that Hadley is going to have is in the striking realm. We saw how he utilized his striking against Carlos Candelario, and it forced Candelario to throw or to shoot a desperate takedown, which he eventually got himself caught into a triangle with, and Hadley was able to finish the fight quickly thereafter. But I don't think that Gordon will have too much success in the grappling realm here. He's not as technically proficient as Alan Nascimento was, who was the first person to give Jake Hadley his first loss, and I think that Hadley can go out there and showcase a dynamic overall MMA game and maybe even come out with a finish as well. So there you guys go. First leg of the Locky Trinity is going to go with Jake Hadley. Second leg is going to go with Jack Shore, another Cage Warriors veteran, and I believe that he's going to showcase a full onslaught here against Makwan Amirkhani. We know Makwan is very dangerous in the early goings of matchups, but he starts to fade if he's not able to get his opponents out of there. And Jack Shore is the master of pushing the pace, pushing his cardio, and breaking his opponents so that he can get them out of there late. And I'm expecting him to do the same thing here. His grappling is more than up to snuff here against Makwan, and we've seen other opponents in the past who have drilled that patented choke that Makwan likes to throw, the Anaconda choke, the dart choke, that front choke series. We've seen guys like Jonathan Pierce and even Kamala Kirk utilize the defense properly, drilling it over and over again. And once they're able to get out of those positions, Makwan clearly gets demoralized and he starts to fall off his train. And that's where his opponents are able to take over. I expect Jack he might get caught in one of those chokes, but I fully expect him to work out of it. And then from there, I think he's going to be able to take over with his pace and pressure. And I think he breaks Makwan, eventually finishing him in the second or third round of this matchup. Minus 500, but totally worth the juice here, considering the skill discrepancy, especially the cardio discrepancy between these two fighters. And then lastly, we're going to go on over to the main event. And I think the welterweight king reclaims his throne here as Kamaru Usman will go out there and finish what he couldn't finish back in September by going out there and defeating Leon Edwards. Now, I don't know how this fight's going to look in the aspect of whether we're going to get a Kamaru Usman that will go out there and try to strike with Leon Edwards. I would advise against that. But what I think we're going to see is more of that boring Kamaru Usman that got him to that title shot in terms of pushing his opponent up against the cage, getting some control time up there, landing some takedowns, and staying safe as much as possible. We can't forget that even though Leon Edwards landed a beautiful headshot bang KO, there was over 39 minutes of solid domination from Kamaru Usman throughout the two meetings that they've had prior to this trilogy matchup. I fully expect Kamaru Usman to do work once again, and I don't think that he will be as rattled as most people expect him to be after coming off of a knockout loss to the same opponent that he's going up against this weekend. So there you guys go. I got my three legs for the Locky Trinity there. We got Jake Hadley, Jack Shore, and Kamaru Usman. That came together at Tuesday when I initially dropped it on the Patreon for plus 113. Doesn't seem like it's taken much action since then. It's only dropped down to plus 112. So not as big of a plus number as most would like from a 3-leg parlay, but I really think that these are the three. Firstly, those first two legs, Hadley and Shore, are probably the safest spots on the entire card, in my opinion. And I think Usman is right there behind those guys as well. Reminder that tomorrow I will be dropping the 3 best prop bets as well for UFC 286. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.